Hi everyone, welcome back to Cooking with Gina Bug. I know it's been a while, but I'm sure glad that you're joining me today. We're going to be talking about dehydration. Dehydrating meat, vegetables, and fruit. There are so many different things that you can do it with it. I have bought the Dehydration Bible off Amazon. This one right here, Dehydrator Bible. This is great to use with your dehydrator machine. I don't really know how to pronounce this. I think it's, what is it, Brad? Kusori. This is a great one. It's not very expensive and very, very manageable with your stuff. So let's get to cooking. 5, 4, 3, 2. All right, guys, we're back. All right, I have some bacon that I'm going to put into my fresh peppercorn that I've ground, and I've got some pork tenderloin. I'm just going to cut it up like here. I've already started. So we're going to just cut it in really thin slices like this. And I'm going to dehydrate it. It's going to be great. And that's too big, so I'm going to cut it again. We're going to cut this all the way through, if I can. We want it to do this in 1/4 inch thin slices. I'm very lucky that I get to do this in my mom's kitchen. She passed away in November, and she is truly missed. But all of this stuff is hers, and we just get to enjoy the things that she left behind. And while we're doing this, I wanted to tell y'all I have a booth at it's called Lone Leaf Antique Mall. It's in where Rose's parking lot is. We have a booth. It's G5. Me and Pam Barker have a booth at G5, and then I have one of my own at E8. So y'all need to go and check out what we have. We have all kinds of things in there. We have sofas, love seats, coffee tables, a lot of stressed wood that we've done. Also a lot of farmhouse stuff that people are really loving right now. And if you want to call me direct, you can call me at 850-890-2216. So anyway, back to the dehydration. We've got our meat cut up here. I'm going to put it in this bowl. That's my pork tenderloin. And then here we have our bacon. So I'm just cutting like this. I'm just cutting little squares like this. So everything is cut up, and we're going to put this into the peppercorn, black peppercorn that we've rounded. I'm going to use Black Magic. Everybody knows what Black Magic is if they're in the South, especially if they've been in Piggly Wiggly. So we're going to put it in Black Magic, kind of. And then we want to use the fresh peppercorn again. Okay, and paprika. I'm going to use paprika. And then we're going to kind of saute it a little bit. And then we'll add the kosher salt at the very end. So we're laying our bacon out on our tray that came with a dehydrator. Let's keep space between your jerky, your bacon, or whatever jerky you're making, because if you don't, the air can't get through there, and it can't do what it's supposed to do. So we want to make a little bit of room between. I did not put my meat in the freezer before I did this. If you put it in the freezer before you cut it, it makes it a little hard. It'll be a lot easier to do this. I didn't do it this time. I should have, because it made it a little gummy like that. But Just make sure that you have some space between each piece. Because if you don't, then it'll just dry together. You don't want that to happen. And then we're going to start with our pork tenderloin. We're going to put it on another tray. And then we'll get to our vegetables and our fruit. Okay, so what I've got here is kosher salt. I've got some black magic. You can get it Piggly Wiggly. And I've got some black peppercorn that you grind. And I put it in this plate. And what I've done is just taken a piece of lemon and I've just put the lemon juice on top of it. That's all I've done. And at the end of it, we're going to use some paprika. So I've taken my beef tenderloin that I had earlier, and I've coated it in this and put it over here on this this metal mesh that for the dehydrator. Got a little bit left, so I'm going to take it and I'm going to roll it around just like I did the rest of them. That's what I've done. Roll it around in here. Lemon coats the coats your meat, and it doesn't make it too peppery or doesn't make it too salty or too sweet. It just makes it just right. So if you ever come across where you think that your stuff is too salty or too sweet, just use a piece of lemon, squirt it on there, and you'll be fine. And make sure that your meat is proportioned on your little mesh, your wire mesh, where it's not touching. So that's what we're going to do right now. I'm just going to make sure it's not touching. And then we can put it into the dehydrator. And this is keto. I mean, you can do this and feel good about yourself when you eat it. And, you know, keto is not it's not a diet. It's a way of life. So if you want to do keto, there's 100 different ways to do it out there online. Basically, don't eat bread, don't eat potatoes and rice, anything with starch in it, and you'll be fine. After 3 days of not eating that, your body will go into ketosis. Okay, guys, we've got our bacon and we have our beef tenderloin, and I told you at the end of it, before we put it in there, I'm going to add the paprika. That's what I'm going to do on my meat. And I'm going to open this up. Any dehydrator you have is fine. And we're going to put it in here. Okay, so your bacon has a lot of fat in it, right? So what we're going to do is we're going to skip one and we're going to come down to the next one, and we're going to put vegetables here. So your bacon can drop down on your vegetables, like your broccoli, or not your fruit, but your vegetables. We're going to put right here. Let's go get the vegetables done. Okay, this is called blanching. Guys, this goes, and we're going to do this, and then we're going to put it in the dehydrator. This is for your vegetables and your fruit. It's very important. Blanching is when you come to a rolling boil, as so, and then you want to add your fruit or your vegetables for 3 minutes. So I'm going to add my asparagus right here to a rolling boil and let it cook for 3 minutes. From there, you put it straight into cold water, which we have here. This is cold water. Make sure it's ice cold water, which I have. And we're going to put it from here to here after 3 minutes. Okay, we put the mushrooms in here next. So let's scoop these out. Straight into our cold water. This stuns them. But that's what we want to do. We want to stun our vegetables and our fruit. So move it over to the cold water. I put ice in mine. You don't have to, as long as it's really cold, but I put ice in mine. That's it. Yep. And the next thing we're going to start on is our broccoli. I'm going to drop this in. And I'm going to move my mushrooms out of the cold water. I'm going to put it into something to put on the dehydrator and let it sit and dry. Okay, we're going to take our broccoli out. We're going to add it to our ice water. It just stuns it where it can't do anything else. And it keeps the texture, the color, the nutrients, everything in whatever you're cooking. All right, so we still have our rolling bowl. So we're gonna add our celery. I'm gonna pour our celery in here. And this is all so nutritious and it's so good for you. It's part of the keto diet. Oh, it's so good. Now the fruit that we're gonna be doing in the next segment is not keto friendly. Look how pretty and green that is. You see that? That's when you stun it. Beautiful. You've been to a restaurant, Italian restaurant especially, and you look and they have broccoli and cheese and you see the real bright broccoli. That's why. They've stunned it with cold water. That's all they're doing. And then you want to pour the water off of it. You want to make sure there's no water on it. You're going to pour that off like this, and then you're going to lay it on top of some paper towels and pat it dry while the rest of your stuff's cooking. Okay, you do the celery for 3 minutes in a rolling bowl, and the reason I'm doing this is to get all the water off of it before I put it into my cold water. Celery likes to absorb water. I'm going to shake it like this before I put it in the cold water. Then we're going to leave it in the cold water for 3 minutes. And then we are going to put in our peppers. We're going to let them cook for 3 minutes to a rolling boil, and then we're going to move those into our ice water. All right, so we're going to be putting our celery in here from our ice cold water. And what I've done is I've taken a lime, half of a lime. I'm going to squeeze it down in here, just like so. And I'm going to take half of a lemon, just like so, put it in here. Okay, and then I'm going to move my celery from the ice cold water into my lemon lime water I just made, or lemon lime juice. And we're going to let that sit for just a few minutes, get all in there, and we're going to add some paprika salt to it. Don't add regular salt, paprika salt, and let it sit for about 5 minutes before we put it in the dehydrator. Okay guys, what I did for the fruit, you see, I have a rolling bowl and I have probably 2 lemons, 2 small lemons and 2 small limes cut up in here. And I'm just letting those natural juices get into the rolling bowl before I add my fruit. What this does is it preserves the nutrients into the fruit. So if you put it in here, the lemon and lime will preserve it right before you put it into the dehydrator. So that's what we're doing. I'm gonna cook it for about 3 minutes like I did everything else. And then I'm gonna start adding my bananas and my pears, my apples, and my strawberries. Okay, so I've seasoned these after it come out of the ice water with kosher salt, the white cheddar, popcorn salt, pepper, salt, lemon juice, and chives. I took it out of the ice water, I brought it over here, I patted it dry. Then I added the salt, pepper, and the white cheddar, patted it dry. Then I added the kosher salt, patted it dry. Then I added the lemon juice, tiny bit of lemon juice, and I used a marinade, a wand, marinated it with it, and then patted it dry, and then put my chives on top of it. And you don't touch it after that, you just leave it. Leave it out for about 10 minutes in the air. Make sure it's not touching. Make sure your items are not touching each other. 10 minutes and it's ready for the dehydrator. Okay, remember guys what I told you about the vegetables? You want to make sure your vegetables are right under your bacon. We want to do that right under our bacon, because so the bacon fat can drip out on them. So we're going to do that right up under it. And then our other vegetables we're going to put down under our beef right here. Okay, so we have our bacon, our vegetables, our beef, our vegetables, and then the very bottom is going to be our fruit, because we don't want any of the stuff leaking onto our fruit. So our next thing is going to be our fruit. We're going to do bananas, peaches, apples, strawberries. All right, so we had our lemons and limes over there on the stove, right here. And we have our apples in here. For 3 minutes, we're gonna boil our apples and we're gonna move them over to our cold water just like we did our vegetables. And then I've already done these apples. And same thing with the bananas. You wanna do, what is this, a half an inch? Quarter, okay, quarter. We do a quarter banana slices like this. And this is just a little tip. If you'll take your bananas and you'll slice them, leave the peeling on when you slice them. And then get you some lemon, put them in a bowl and let them sit for about 10 minutes. It'll suck all that lemon juice up. But leave the peeling on, and then when you get done, take the peeling off before you put it into the cold water and stun it. So we have our apples, we have our bananas, and then I have some pineapple that I have stunned, and I have stunned some pears. And this is peaches. I cut the peaches up real small because I'm not a real fan of peaches, but my dad is. He loves peaches, and my husband loves it, but I'm not a real fan, so anyway, they like them. My dad asked me the other day, he said, who does not like peaches? And I said, I don't like the taste of peaches. It's just not good to me. But anyway, so I have pears, apples, bananas, pineapple, and peaches. But listen to me, make sure that you do it in the lemon lime water. You boil those, one lemon halved, one lime halved in a rolling boil, and then you do all this in it for 3 minutes. And then you put it on your tray. Okay? Okay, so I've taken my lemon lime juice moved it over to my cold water so it could get some more, and see how mushy it got? I made sure all that got in, all the goodness got into my stuff. So this right here is crab apples. My cousin Danny Snyder and my Aunt Dorothy picked me some crab apples, and I use those for jelly and for other things, and for making some good stuff. And I just boiled me some and put them in this lemon lime and put them on here to dehydrate. We're going to see how it looks. I've never done a crab apple before, so we're going to see how it does. And then I took the chives and all the good stuff from the vegetables and put it on my pear. And then I took, these are all pears, and then the pineapple. But what I wanted to show you was I have cocoa and I have cinnamon. I was going to take the cinnamon and I'm going to just lightly coat my apples with it. I have the green apples and the red apples, and just turn it over. Now make sure you don't overcook your apples. Make sure it only stays in that water 3 minutes, because if you overcook it, your apples are going to come out soggy, okay? Then, and if you want to dehydrate lemons and limes, you can, but I'm not going to do that. And then I'm going to take my cocoa, I'm going to put it over my bananas, just a little bit, over my bananas. And that's it. I have everything. This is just lemon. So I have my apples, bananas, I have my pineapple, I have my peaches. And with the peaches, if you want to take just a little bit of sugar, you want to sprinkle on top of the peaches, it's really good. I'll probably do that before I put them in there. And then I have my crab apples, I have my pears, and I did not do the strawberries. The strawberries, I decided to save the strawberries to use for the fondue. I'm going to have a fondue fun party tomorrow. So I decided to save those and my grapes for that. So next we're going to do is we're going to put our stuff in to our dehydrator. Okay, we're going to put it into our dehydrator. We can get it in there the right way. Okay, okay. So we have bacon, we have asparagus and celery. We have bacon and tenderloin. We have tenderloin here. We have celery, mushrooms, bell pepper, and jalapeno peppers. Then we have apples, bananas, pears, and crab apples, and what else do we have? Oh, peaches. That's what we have in here. So we got everything in here. So we're going to close it. We're going to do our degree, how hot we want it. We're going to do it at 155. And then we're going to do 7.5 hours on the meat. And on the juicy fruits, we're going to do about, what, 10 hours? 10 to 12? About 10 to 12 hours. This dehydrator Bible, it's got everything you can possibly want to dehydrate. It tells you how to get things ready to dehydrate. It's really a good book, it really is. Also, I'm going to be doing the fondue machine. I've done it before with you guys, but this is different. This is a different one. Mainly because me and my husband stored my other one and I couldn't find it, so we had to go buy a new one. And I really like this one because it has the Lazy Susan that you go around and you get the sprinkles and you do the apples and everything. So we're really looking forward to having a good time with that this week. So you have to tune in for that. We're going to do it live, and I'll let you know when. Remember to eat healthy, eat smart, and eat the things that you love in life because you only live once. Thanks for joining Cooking with Gina Bug. Have a great day.
Thanks for watching Cooking with Gina Bug. Please be sure to follow so you don't miss out on any future videos.